morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time that you're watching this video. I am yours truly, this kind Sawene, and today on Story Yangu, I am here by who else? Wabomba Agroventure. He's just going to introduce himself. Let's know who he is by names, and we shall pick it up from there. Karibu sana.
Thank you, Sawela.
Yes.
My name is Wangila Wabomba. I'm a CEO of Wabomba Agroventure.
Yes.
Wabomba Agroventure is a holistic agriculture consultancy service. We provide holistic consultancy across the country. We are based here in Bungoma, but basically we consult countrywide.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have five body chains that we do consult in. We consult in apiculture, that's basically bee farming. We consult in aquaculture, that is basically fish farming. We do crop production, animal husbandry, poultry, piggery, landscaping and afforestation, and soil science. Yeah.
That is what Wabomba Agroventures in general.
Yeah.
Now we want to talk about Wabomba. Who is Wabomba? Before Wabomba Agroventures, there is Wabomba.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
Wabomba is born and raised in, is a resident of this town.
Yes.
I come from basically Kabula Ward, that's Bumula constituency. I was born in a village called Talitia, locally known as Bukhinanyuni. I went to school in Talitia Primary School. I went to high school in Kabula Boys. I proceeded for my A-level in Meru University of Science and Technology, where I did a degree in agronomy, or rather BS Agriculture. Currently I'm taking my master's at that level.
Wow.
Yeah. I've worked with different organizations. My first employer was Kenya Breweries, where I worked in as an aggregator under Magoya. I've also worked with a Millennium Member of Parliament as a personal assistant. I've also worked with the Kilifi County government as a consultant, where we set up cassava processing plant, which is currently doing very well there. Then, as I'm speaking, I work with National Treasury and Planning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meru University must have shaped you so well in terms of career and life. And what can you say about the 4 years you spent in Meru?
Fantastic. That was a period, it was a life-changing opportunity for me when I was in Meru University. Basically, in my entire study, from primary, secondary, I really wanted to be a medic, and my focus was basically on medicine. And I worked extremely well, extremely hard to become a medic. But probably that was not the line God had ordained me along.
Yeah.
After getting an A playing in Kabula Boys, I proceeded to Meru University. First, I never knew Meru University existed, and I wanted to go to Nairobi University.
I know.
But because of God's will, I went to Meru University. I was given BS Agriculture. I tried to change because that was not my passion. I tried to change here and there. But I didn't manage, and I ended up doing BS Agriculture. By the time I was in second year, I was still living in denial, because I've been grown up knowing that agriculture is this dirty kind of job.
I know.
And I think I was thinking I've outlived being a farmer. In the basic conceptual understanding of a farmer, whereby a farmer is perceived to be somebody who is dirty. But that perception changed over time, as I'll be able to tell you. But basically, when I was in Meru University, I entered into politics. I've been a student leader for in Meru University as a president. I later on transited to become a Secretary General of Kenya University Students Association. When I was in Meru University, basically, that's where I learned to shape my life. So back to the course, when I was in second year, I started accepting myself as an agronomist, or rather as an agriculturalist. And By the time I was doing my thesis for fourth year, I was a full-blown agriculturalist. When I got out of school, I quickly thought of I didn't really want to come and start knocking other people's door in terms of looking for employment. And that is when I came up with the idea of Wabomba Agroventure. I said, I can be able to put my knowledge and practice into something. Yeah.
Wow. I've just heard your statement, and in between there you said something about venturing into politics.
Yes.
What is your position in politics as you speak now?
Basically, my life has been extremely very political, besides what I've been doing, or rather besides what I'm doing as an Agroventure. I told I worked as a personal assistant to a member of parliament in Kimili constituency. Later on, I joined Treasury in still a political appointment as a personal assistant to Assistant Minister for National Treasury and Planning. That's where I am currently. But I've worked with different politicians, including my member of parliament, Honorable Wabomba Bumula member of parliament, whom I contributed extremely solidly to make him who he is today as a member of parliament, and I'm extremely proud of. So I also consult matters political along the line. So to where I am politically, as you say, I'm an associate of Wabomba as I continue working in Treasury.
And you're doing well?
I'm doing well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, as a youth, what are you doing to your peers and the influence that you're trying to bring to your peers? Yes.
A good question. I've been a youth advocate since my university time. Back to the village, I've been a student leader. I've been a youth chairman of a group called Bukoya. Bukoya, that is Bumula Youth Association. When I was a chairman of Bukoya, there are so many programs I initiated to capacity build my colleagues across the constituency and probably across the county. I've organized talks to students, both university and college students, that will normally happen periodically on every December, where we come and talk to students, especially Form 4s, on the way forward, train them on basic courses that they need to take so that they don't fall in the same trouble I am in, or I was in, where I thought agriculture is not a noble opportunity or not a noble course. I also do a lot of capacity building in agriculture, because having developed that passion and discovered that agriculture is a way of life, I've been able to organize a lot of groups for youths, women, and even people who are elderly. Like yesterday, I was in Bumula to train farmers on rice farming. I'm hoping you saw it. So that's basically what I do. I know being accepted as a way of life, agriculture, it is a process and it takes time, especially for a youthful generation that is extremely impatient with life. Because for agriculture, you need to be very patient to be able to achieve what you do. But I've done my level best, and I also use social media to be able to motivate a lot of youths who follow me on my Facebook group, which is Wabomba Agroventure. I always tell them what I know I'm doing here and there, just as a way of encouraging them and telling them, you see, you can do something else. You can do something in this field of agriculture.
And do you think it's working?
It's working because reasons as why I say it's working. One, you are a testimony that's working because you have looked for me. So definitely you got me somewhere else. Okay. So two, it is working because since I started this kind of venture, there are so many people that have passed through my hands, and today they are working. There are so many people that I've employed at a personal level, because Wabomba Agroventure is currently standing at around 78 employments. So those are people that basically depend on Wabomba Agroventure to be able to put their food on the table, which I feel is an impact. I've also been able to shape perception in the society that just besides having your other duties, like now where I'm in treasury handling political issues, I still do my own things. I still continue with farming. So I've been able to at least change that perception that once you get a formal employment in a certain sector, then you need to abandon what you are doing before. And I have people who can give testimonies that actually this kind of farming has been able to help them. Two, I've been able to develop a lot of services. Because when I started this farming, I remember we used to get honey from Baringo. I've been able to build capacity builders for farmers who are now doing agriculture here. Honey is now easily available in Bungoma. I'm also doing fruit farming. Basically, most of the grafted fruits, people are getting them from Nairobi. Today, I've been able to develop that service. People can be able to get fruit around. I've been able to come up with, as I told you, Wabomba Agroventure is holistic. Holistic in a manner that is a one-stop shop. One-stop shop where a farmer is able to get satisfied with one particular consultant, where my consultant is one-stop shop. When I come to your farm, I'm able to look at your crop, I'm able to look at your chicken, I'm able to look at your animal, I'm able to look at your soil. So you don't need to really find somebody else. So we are extremely one-stop shop, and it's doing extremely well with farmers. I know it's a slow process, but eventuality, in fullness of time, I'm hoping the impact will be global.
I have seen. Now that I'm a testimony of.
True.
Okay. So during yourself on your self-emancipation journey,
yes.
Who are these people that have helped you to rise up? Because we've seen there are people you yourself have helped to rise up. There are people who helped you rise up as well.
Very true.
Who are they?
A good question indeed. And I trace back to my attachment time. When I went for my attachment in Mia Sugar Company, for my industrial attachment, I met an old man called Mr. John C.E.O. John C.E.O was my supervisor by that time, and we gelled so well. When I started Wabomba Agroventure, the first person to come in my mind was John C.E.O, and at that time he had retired. So I quickly absorbed him. We came together and gave birth to Wabomba Agroventure. John C.E.O is currently one of my managers. He's now based in Cliffy. He's running my errands in Cliffy. And I am entirely grateful to his mentorship. Another man that has held my hand is called Mr. Bernard Lombasi, who will be here shortly. He's joining me as we head to Kabula for passion practice. This is an old man who has vast kind of experience, vast kind of knowledge across farming. He's a man whom I've worked with to this level, and currently is my overall manager in Wabomba Agroventure, and he has done an excellent job for Wabomba Agroventure. So my parents have also supported me in terms of moral upbringing. My own member of parliament has kept on encouraging me to do what I do. My governor, currently the leadership, I can say, is extremely positive with what I do. They might not be supporting me directly, but just that positivity. And entirely my audience. Because basically when I began this kind of job, I expect that I will get out of backlashes in the society. This gentleman has a degree and is now back with gumboots. But I've been able to be encouraged slow by slow with the community. So I say the community has held my hand. enough to where I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what are some of the challenges that you have faced as Wabomba Agroventure?
Good. Initially, as I've mentioned, I ended Wabomba. I ended farming as an instant transition from politics. Wangila Wabomba was a very influential name. Was already a name that is making headlines when I left campus because of politics. And when people associate you with politics, they expect a lot of things. Extremely, when I left in university, everybody expected that I was going to vie. But I eventually entered into farming. So there are those people who felt disappointed as to why I'm entering into farming. And farming, by then, those people were seeing it as a low-grade job. So negativity was all over. I remember one day when I was doing my marketing for honey, because that's where I began. Somebody maliciously just took my bottles of honey, he branded with his own, with my brand. He packed molasses in it and he distributed them to the markets. So those are some basic challenges that we normally get on the market. But luckily enough, I had done a lot of legit work before, and my farmers came to my defense. So those are some of the basic challenges that I have. To the perception, as I'm telling you, in the society, my biggest audience should be the youth, because I'm a youth. But I struggle how I can be able to convert these youth and to be able to let them know that this line that I'm partaking is a line that is worth partaking by everybody. Agriculture has been perceived as a low-grade job, as a job for those people who are unschooled, as a job as a daddy job. You get it? So you tell people about farming, what comes in his mind is about taking a jembe and going to dig or going to the farm, which is just beyond that. So slow by slow, I'm able to change that perception. With a lot of environmental challenges that are also there in our region. Market is also one of the challenges that we normally encounter as farmers, because when you tell somebody that, look, can you grow capsicum? He needs to know where he'll be able to sell his capsicum. So you tell him, can you grow sugarcane? He tells you Mias is no longer working. So you must be innovative enough to be able to do end-to-end. End-to-end is whereby you are able to advise this farmer from production to market. And that is where Wabomba Agroventure is now.
Oh my God. So that's where you are now.
Yes.
When you close your eyes in the next 3 to 5 years, where do you see Wabomba Agroventure?
Perhaps 3. Currently I'm consulting countrywide. My vision and my prayer is that in the next 3 years, Wabomba Agroventure is not just being felt globally, but I've been able to create a massive impact, change of perception about how farming is, be able to motivate farmers that you need to do farming, you need to do value addition in terms of farming. That's something that I'm extremely passionate about. Value addition. And even yesterday when I was in Bomula, I was talking about value addition. How can we be able to, if you are farming rice, how can we be able to process this rice to the market, so that at the end of the day we reduce the brokers in between. So that's my vision, and my eyes are extremely on the ball, and I'm certain that I'm going to achieve it.
Wow,
Yes.
you have so much confidence in yourself.
Yes, I do. I do.
Okay, considering you're doing so well up here, and the field is not as bad as people think, according to you, that is it?
Yes, it's not.
Yes. So you motivate some of us, we must admit, you know. And what do you tell those people who are looking up to you, especially the young people?
Great. I must tell them that I am where I am, first because of farming. And Wabomba could not be Wabomba if he had not taken that solid step to go into farming. Because almost all my employers, I got them along my field of hustle. My first employer, who was a member of parliament in Kimilili, he got me on social media when I was doing marketing on landscaping, and he absorbed me as a landscaper. So from there, when I was associating with him as a landscaper doing his landscaping farm, then he realized this man is just beyond a landscaper. Then he got me a job. My current employer at National Treasury, Honda Berrics Mayor, we also met in the field. When I was doing a presentation on an alternative source of income for Bukusus, fortunately he was also part of that audience. And when I was trying to pursue them, or rather giving them an alternative source of income, I was presenting a paper to Bukusu Council of Elders. Fortunately, he consults for Bukusu Council of Elders. So we met there and he discovered this man is brilliant. So I started working with him on consultancy basis. Luckily, he was appointed and he said, I want to work with Wangila Wabomba by that time. So what I keep on telling youth, keep on hustling along your line, because your luck is just along that line that you think is not paying, that you think is not fortunate for you. So, you see, I can be able to wear a suit because of Wabomba Agroventure. I can be able to sell fruits here and there. At the end of the day, I cannot lack just my maintenance costs. At least I have something in pocket because of Wabomba Agroventure. So to me, agriculture, I'm doing it as a business, and I'm not doing it just as a hobby. I'm doing it as a business. If I'm planting this sukuma wiki, I need to calculate after 4 months or after 3 months what will be my cost of what was my cost of input and what is my output out of it. So that's what I do. So to youths outside there listening to us, watching us, let us make agriculture more sexy. Agriculture is not just about digging, it's not just about weeding. We have a lot of value chains in agriculture that are you can be able to partake. For example, in my company, I have somebody just basically who runs my marketing, who does marketing for me. And to him, is playing a very critical part in my value chain, because without him, I'm not able to reach the audience. So that's just one of the value chain. In agriculture, you can be a marketer. You are just marketing the product. You can be even a broker. A broker is a much more harsh term, but we normally, there's a better term that we normally use. You can be able to link a farmer to the buyer. You get it? So it doesn't mean that when you are in agriculture, you must be the producer. No. There is a lot of processes in between production and consumption. You can play within that part. So, unlike any other profession, like any other field, agriculture will never lack opportunity, because people have to eat.
True.
Despite how uchumi is, at the end of the day, you must eat. And if you must eat, then Wabomba Agroventure becomes very solid. Yeah. So at the end of the day, whether how the economy is, whether how you talk about job opportunities, there is a lot of job opportunities in agriculture. And agriculture is, I also found agriculture as one of the fields you can be able to start doing what you do. You can be able to start making impact. You can be able to employ yourself using very low amount of income. In my company, among the 15 staffs I have, almost 10 have not done agricultural courses. They've done these other courses. But because they developed passion towards what I do, they have been assimilated, they have been trained. So outside there, when you talk about agriculture, it's not a must that you must be having background of agriculture. You might be an IT, how can you use that IT skills to be able to contribute to food security in this nation? You might have done any other course, but at the end of the day, how can we marry what we have done with agriculture?
True.
So to me, from where I sit, I believe agriculture can be able to absorb almost every profession, because every profession is required in farming.
Wow.
Yeah.
Parting shots, maybe something we've left to Patrick.
Well, I just want to encourage the audience that Wabomba Agroventure is here solidly for you. We are here to give you the services that you require. We're just basically based at Blue F's here in Bungoma. We do consultancy across the country. Just to mention a few, in crop farming, we are doing a lot of greenhouse. We are doing a lot of soil science. We are doing hybrid seedlings production. Just basically maintaining your crop. We are doing a lot of fruit trees, and in fruit trees we are not just doing for the sake of doing, but we are encouraging the production of orphan fruits. When we talk about orphan fruits, these are fruits that you and I probably could have eaten them long time ago in the forest, but today you cannot be able to get them. The custard apples, the gooseberries, the ombugu apples. Those are things that I'm able to promote, and I'm doing it to be able to propagate it and ensure food securities. In animal production, we source animals for farmers. We also offer veterinary services. We construct farm structures. We train farmers who want to do animal production. We do feed formulations. In poultry farming, that's exactly what we also do. In apiculture farming, we construct hives. We do management of beehives. We buy honey from farmers and we process. When you go to supermarkets, you'll get our honey. It's called Mount Elgon honey. That's our product. So Wabomba Agroventure basically is here for you as a farmer to be able to assist you plant your crop and take you through until you reach the market. So we are having a program called end-to-end from production to market. That's exactly what Wabomba Agroventure is. And I welcome you, I encourage you that you join us in probably turning around the society in terms of farming.
Wow.
Yeah.
What else do I say? I have nothing to add. Honestly, it's been amazing being with you on this show.
True.
Next time, guys, you're going to see us on the farm. Hizi suti kando, nijembe, na gumboots.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe, to like, and to follow us on our social media platforms. That is Culture Hub TV on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thank you.